What's going on, everybody? All of my Nofappers, rookies, veterans, everyone in between. Hope you guys are enjoying your day. I just wanted to um, give like a new wrap up in regards to my 7 month no sex, no PMO, no FAP approaching. It feels great. It feels great, and I just wanted to go over some of the things that I've found that I stumbled upon through this whole sort of meditative process that have really just opened my eyes on along this journey. And I just wanted to share that with everybody. Um, just this liberating experience, this freedom, this newfound freedom to to choose, to choose, to feel that empowerment to choose. Um, it really is. It's sensational. It's like there's no force behind you or like within you that's controlling you and making decisions for you. Let me explain. Like before when I was just going through the whole PMO, the whole um, FAP situation, just going crazy with it, like it felt like not only did it feel like, but it was the fact that I wasn't in control. It was like, but it really felt like there was like some sort of external force, like I was under, you know what I mean? Like I was under some sort of like mind control. I was being, I was like a pawn in the hands of some sort of, I don't know, some sort of like possession or something like that. Like it now feels like I can isolate my thoughts, my impulses. I can target them and I can maneuver them with it now being in favor of me having the leverage, which I'm going to talk about later in regards to leverage. But yeah, it's just an amazing feeling. Like you're you're dominating your own mind. You're dominating your own decisions. You're panning out your options and executing. You're the one in charge. You're the boss. That feeling, that sentiment is like very strong. It's stronger than it's ever been, ever in my life. Doing this whole, no FAP, no PMO. It is a feeling like none other, and that's really why I encourage everybody to not hop on the bandwagon, but and of course somebody's car alarm has to go off. Hopefully they turn it off soon. But anyway, that's not going to interrupt my video. Basically, yeah, not hop on a bandwagon, but to join a new lifestyle. This is this is a way of living. It's not a fad. It's not a trending topic. It's just it's life. It's a way to regenerate. It's a way to refocus. It's a way to grow, right? So that's one of my first ideas. I'm over here looking at my notes. Um, so what I realized is that when I started, that I was trying. This is personal. This is from my point of view. I was trying to prove something to someone. I was trying to prove. I was trying to prove something to. It felt like I was trying to prove something to people, right? Oh, you know what? I don't have to do that. Everybody else can do that, but I'm not. I'm not going to co-sign to that behavior. I don't have to. I don't need to do that to get off. Like I'm. I'm better than that. Really, what I'm realizing now is that it's not about proving anything to anyone, and that's just a life lesson in general. You don't have to do anything. That's the definition of being humble, is doing something that you know is going to benefit you. Never ever having to do it in regards to proving anything to anyone else but yourself, is what I'm saying. So I had a very strong um, this this whole this whole process is really strengthening that purpose. Just that I'm not doing this for anyone other than myself, and it feels great. It feels great. I'm proving it to myself. I'm showing myself. It's like a way of coming to. It's like a coming of age in regards to like your psychology, the way that you think. It's like the maturation of your own soul. Is how I would describe it. Uh, is how I would describe it. So it's like it gets you to focus so strongly on yourself, and it puts value and it puts power in your own hands. So, like I was talking about before with leverage, it just it makes it so that like um just like for instance like talking to women, like for me before fap before when I was going fap crazy, PMO crazy, um it felt like not only women but like life, the universe had leverage over me. It felt like I was living a predetermined life, like I didn't have any choice, like I was saying before. Like everything that somebody said, particularly a female, like if I was talking to them, like that was the end all be all. That was the determinant in regards to the fate of whatever the situation was, whatever the relationship was. Like it felt like I wasn't retaining any value. This Nofap, no PMO, really it just builds like this strong sense of value that you have. And once you have that value, it's really just self-love. That's what all of this falls back on. That's what all of this trickles down to, is establishing such a strong sense of value and self-love. Once you love yourself, you're not going to allow yourself to do certain things. You're not going to allow yourself to stoop to the levels that you know are going to threaten your idea of this newfound sense of value. No, you're not going to allow that. You're not going to allow yourself to disrespect yourself. And that's what I felt like I was doing before all of this, before this whole commitment, before this whole lifestyle change. I couldn't allow, like now at this point, I couldn't allow a lot of things that what I would have before. Now when I talk to women, I command control. I command. It's not even about like being a controlling person. It's about being in control of yourself. And women detect that like none other. Women have like the most brilliant and advanced radar in regards to scanning you, scanning your personality, scanning your character, and determining what type of man that is standing in front of them. So before all of this, I know, like these women were just like sharks. They're just eating me up. They could easily tell. They could easily pick up on, okay, this is a nice guy. He's eager. He's seems kind of desperate. I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna allow anything to manifest, to synthesize between myself and him, because that indicates that it sets off some sort of alarm. Um, it's like they're genetically wired to sense that. It's all a part of the whole reproductive the reproductive concept of looking for a strong mate to pass on genetics with. If they detect that you're a weak man, they're not going to want to essentially pass on those genetics um, with somebody of your character. So it all happens, with them on a subconscious level. They're not going to select you. It's a process of natural selection, right? Only the strong survive, survival of the fittest. So with that being said, like when you when you're in control of yourself, you're not going to be predisposed to that weakness. So you're already on track with whether it's a female or whether it's getting a new job. Like just that confidence that comes through self control. That's what this all falls back on. It isn't no fap, no PMO is the vessel, right? It's the vessel for self control. That's what all of this. That's what the foundation. That's the core principle of this entire lifestyle. You know what I mean? It's not, like I said, it's not a fad, it's not a trend. This is a way of living. Self-control is a way of living. So back to what I was saying about women, they no longer have the leverage. Like I command control. Like I talk to women pretty much every day now, and I can just pick out the ones that I'm going to get their number. I can, you know, plan dates like it's nothing to me now. You know, I'm not trying to sound arrogant or cocky. Like that's just I'm giving you the results of real life decisions. If you make the decision to control yourself, these are the results. It's very straightforward. It's not rocket science. 1 plus 1. Like you do this, and this will follow. It's very simple. But yeah, talking about leverage, talking about predisposal to a weakened state, and not allowing the universe to have leverage over you. When you're Another reason why women find that unattractive is because what I've heard about on other YouTube from other YouTube videos is that it is also a sign that when you're eager like that, when you have that desperate, how would you say, you have that desperate energy in your aura when you're talking to somebody, just your demeanor. People can read you, right? They say that 80% of our communication is body language. You know what I mean? So it's like you're just dripping, you're oozing with with who you really are, just based on how people sense you versus what the content of what it is that you're actually saying. People are reading you 80%. So, um, what was I saying? So yeah, that is an indicator to women of how quick you are in bed, from what I've heard, which makes sense. If you're eager, if you're desperate, if you're anxious, that means, falling back on what we just talked about, self-control. That means you have no self-control. And if you don't have self-control, obviously you're going to prematurely ejaculate. And this is the kicker right here that I've found that really applies to life in general. If you don't have any self-control, you're not unrelated to FAP and PMO, you're going to prematurely ejaculate in every area of your life. Deep, deep, profound. So that means that you're going to jump the gun when it comes to your financial spendings. You're going to jump the gun when it comes to anything else in life, your academics, your friendships, spirituality. Every aspect of your life, you're going to prematurely ejaculate. You're going to obviously not literally prematurely ejaculate, but it's the figuratively speaking. What I'm saying is that you're going to make decisions in the moment that aren't going to be best fit for longevity. That is essentially the concept here. That is the basis, the foundation for lacking self-control. That's what all of this is. That's what all of this is. And there's other methods of establishing self-control, but this is the most powerful for men, particularly because we are genetic. Like I said before in one of my first videos, is that our strongest genetic and instinctive urge is to reproduce. It's survival, and survival comes through the means of reproduction. So that utilizing by training that instinctive urge, you hold on to this magnificent power and authority in this universe by holding on to that energy. So if you utilize that energy to establish self-control, it has so much more of a profound effect than any other method of establishing self-control. So that's one of the one of the ideas, one of the revelations that I got through um, this whole experience thus far. Um, Another one is, like I was saying, the whole the whole leverage thing, regarding like the universe just having your emotional state and your state of consciousness at its disposal. That's exactly what it feels like. Before, when I was going through once again with the PMO and the FAP, like it felt like all my decisions were just like I never had it's like I was a slave to this force. I was a slave to this animal, to this burning passion, this desire, this urge. Just it was like a wildfire, an uncontained wildfire that would just swallow me up in these situations where I needed to establish self-control. It would just burn me alive. Every like I was taking an L, I was taking a loss. Really, what I want to redefine L as is learning experience. I was taking a learning experience. Every single experience was an L and a learning experience. So, but before, when I had a lack of understanding, a lack of knowledge, I took it as a loss, which we should never do. We should always be learning, right? So that really was a game changer, understanding that the leverage is never in the hands of the universe, that we're always creating we're always creating leverage, whether we're and if you have self-control, leverage is always in your favor. So we're always either creating leverage for situations or for ourselves on a daily basis. So once you understand that, it's like just a light bulb goes off. It's like, well, why would I want to create leverage for my environment, for external situations? Why would I not want to create leverage for myself, so that I'm in control, um, so I'm doing the, not manipulation, but so that I'm doing the calculation, so that I'm doing the execution. It makes perfect sense, right? So, um, man, like, and thinking about everything that I just said, like, there's no way I would have stumbled upon this information, like, if I didn't go through it, like when I was, going fat, PMO crazy, like I would never have any thoughts of this magnitude before. I would never have any, like, I wouldn't have any epiphany, any revelation of this degree in any way, shape, or form. I would just be like, well, where's the next girl that I could talk to and fail with? Like it was just, like I said, the universe stringing me along versus me taking control. And that's really what this whole process is about. Like I said, the foundation of it is control, control, self control. So I can't stress that anymore. And it really feels good, like talking to women. Before, I was just getting strung along by women that were reading me as a nice guy and a giver, but somebody who gave in, somebody who caved in, and somebody that really, like I said, due to the whole reproductive instincts, would be categorized as a weak man and therefore not be worthy of selection, right? So now my whole demeanor has changed, right? And now the leverage is in my hands. And, just like a girl I was talking to recently, I was like, you know what? Let me demonstrate that. I was talking to her. I was, when can we hang out? Texting her like crazy. And she was like stringing me along, okay, Mr. Nice Guy, and blah, blah, blah. How about we hang out this day? And then she would flake on me. And then I'd make another suggestion and then she'd push her availability like way into the future. I mean, just constantly playing this game. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not playing anymore. I don't want to play this game. And that's when it clicked. I was like, wow, I've made it to the point where I can cut ties. I can make that I can realize that I have the power to make the decision to stop playing this game instead of being in the situation where we're like, oh crap, I'm in the middle of this game. Like, how do I get out? It was such a mind blowing experience, and I was just like, okay, this is easy. Snip, cut the ties right there. I'm not no longer gonna text her anymore. I'm not gonna play, and let's see what she does now. Sure enough, 3 days later, she texts me, oh hey, hope everything's going good with you. I'm like, bingo, checkmate. It just made perfect sense. I was like, wow, I don't have to. I don't have to give in to compulsion, this compulsion, this desire to spread yourself thin, to give in to this force. And like, what is this force? Thinking about that too, it's like, how can, like, this is my right hand, my left hand. This is me. Like, this is my body. This is my brain. So how can I not be in control of myself? Doesn't make any sense, right? How can we not be in control of us? Like, who else is in control of us other than ourselves? Is there like some, I don't know, some alien species that is inhabiting our bodies that, we're just like these giant robots, and, these little creatures are in there just like pressing buttons and maneuvering us like a video game or something? Like, what how can it like, it doesn't make sense for us to do things and be like, wow, I didn't realize that, I didn't have to do that, or I didn't realize that I had control or power. It's like, how though? When you think about it, it just makes perfect sense. Like, wow, I am in control of myself. So we're just at the point where, well, I am here, coming up on 7 months in 4 days, 4 more days. Wait, 31 days in October, right? So 5 days, I'm going to be 7 months. And it's like, it took 7 months just to figure out something so simple, and that's to just control yourself, really. But because we're emotional creatures, because we're far from perfect, it takes the physical to convince us. Unfortunately, sometimes it takes the physical, something that we see, something that we feel, something that the five deceptions, I call them. What we see, hear, taste, touch, smell. Nothing is truly what it seems to be, or what it sounds like, or what it feels like, or tastes. You know what I mean? Like, I call all the senses deceptions. So that's really, oh, look at her. I'm looking at my phone right now. She's talking about, hold on. She's talking about setting up a day after 5 at Panera or Thursdays after 5. You know what I mean? Here's the text message right there. Whoop. I want you guys to see her number. I mean, obviously, wouldn't want her information getting out there like that. That's not responsible of me. But yeah, anyways, it's me signing off. Love all you guys, man, like, for taking this journey. It really is rewarding. This is no joke. This is the real deal. I don't care what you've read or what you've heard. Like, take my word for it now. It works. It's all about self-control. It's all about self-love, and you know, it's really, it's a lot. It's so, like I said, it's so complex, but that's because we're humans and we're emotional, and you'll realize that the more that you practice self-control, because it'll click and you'll be like, this is not complex at all. It's so simple. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts, and may everyone, who's watching this who has, trouble with PMO and FAP to just drop it, to just take on and do something different with yourself and take on a new journey in your life. And to all the people that are already on the journey, keep it up. So this is me signing off. Everybody enjoy your day.